Exactly, and once again, we're down to the entire thing of Blizzard should probably just make a movie. Of something. Just like the Overwatch movie with that animation.
Yep.
Be great.
Absolutely.
Or just a TV show, animated TV show. There's just so many things they could do because their cinematics are always good all the way back to StarCraft, all back to Warcraft.
Yeah. Back in Warcraft 2, I'm not sure about Warcraft 1, but Warcraft 2 already had such cool cinematics for the time.
Warcraft 1 was it's aged to say the least. Khadgar looks nothing like Khadgar now, and that's not even just due to age. But yeah, Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, spectacular ones, and people say the Warcraft movie. Yes, the Warcraft movie, but I mean full animated. Because let's be honest, what is Blizzard best? What is Blizzard best at in terms of storytelling? Making it animated.
Making it epic, making it animated. Just like those teams are trying to do it here in this draft. Make it epic, make it look good. And so far, no big mistakes on either side. The Arthas taken out of the equation. We're playing on Sky Temple, by the way, guys. So a very different map from the one that we just saw. It's a lot more about static fights on multiple locations. So with those temples getting activated, it is very important to secure an early game lead. Because I would actually call Sky Temple one of the most snowbally maps in the current HGC League pool. Because if you get an early lead, if you get a mid-game lead, all you need to do as a team that's in the lead is just to wait for the new temple wave, and you will never lose a lead.
Quite possibly, but obviously that can be dangerous if you aren't pressing your advantage. You are opening yourselves up to get caught in a team fight at temple phase.
True,
so
exactly.
Sometimes decisive decisions have to be made on this map. It's definitely one of the more interesting maps. We do have already a little bit of global coming out of TheOne, unless they are planning for the Metamorphosis Illidan, but Illidan has typically been treated as a global hero with the hump, but that has been nerfed recently.
Yeah, and we've seen a surprising number of Metamorphosis games yesterday in China, where a lot of the teams thought it was time to bring back the pure teamfight Illidan. If you go for the Metamorphosis, you have a strong disengage and, of course, a strong initiation tool. Depending on how many heroes you hit, you get a massive bonus HP pool. No more do you get attack speed. That is long and gone. So, Illidan through the roof actually has been nerfed in the past on multiple fronts. Still, the hero remains good, and that's just because his basic kit is so dangerous.
You see here the reaction from Hot's Lady. It's more crowd control, bringing in the Uther, and of course they already have Sonya on their side, so that's going to be a little bit of extra CC, and of course some lovely ability power team fight, which of course we can get through the evasion of Illidan.
Yeah, Sonya definitely a solo laner as well that can lane very well against Illidan. We have seen other heroes struggle every now and then, for example, Dehaka. I mean, he can still do it. Even Malthael can still do it, but Sonya is definitely one of the best heroes you can put against the Betrayer. By the way, speaking of Illidan, just a short, excursion here. Did you see the new cinematic for World of Warcraft?
Yes, I did. I mean, it's been shown in the breaks of this, and it's this hype. Illidan continuing to look smug AF, just constantly these days.
You're referring to the one with Prophet Velen?
Oh, is there a different one?
Oh, there's a different one. They released it a few days ago, and it is basically about Illidan forging his own destiny and refusing to believe or to accept what he's told to believe by the Naru. I don't want to say more than that, but it is badass, and you should check it out. It is on YouTube as well. It is on the launcher. I will do so after this talk, after these matches. Oh, you should. You can find it in the World of Warcraft launcher, and it is insanity. Illidan, some people out there, they thought that Blizzard put too much emphasis on Illidan and, making him kind of a lame and cheesy hero because he gets to do everything. But after watching this short cutscene, I was like, totally justified, totally legit.
I remember when he used to do CC and roots. That was fun. Sorry, silences and roots.
Yep.
That used to be part of his base kit.
Many things have changed on Illidan, and he yet remains a very, very popular choice for a reason. So Anub'arak, though, entering the fray for the first time. No ETC this time for TheOne. We still see the Greymane, though, and they have yet to pick a main support, because I very highly doubt that they're going to go solo TAS. On the flip side, though, Hot's Lady, they could go double support still. They could also go solo Uther, though, and pick more Illidan counters, which I would actually support.
I would also be supporting of this. The question is, what would they want? Arthas is banned, HGC is banned, so Muradin would be the most go-to, due to being one of the only tanks with a attack speed slow in general, and also being very heavy on the lockdown. Varian and Garrosh would also be exceptionally good. A good taunt onto Illidan drops a silence onto him, and that can be a just straight-up blow-up. Speaking of which, we just haven't seen him yet. We don't see that, though. We do see a second support in the form of Ariel, and a Stitches makes his way back in.
Wow, that is the first Stitches, if I am not mistaken, in the entirety of HGC China fall season. So, he used to be a very regular customer in those drafts last season, to the point where he was actually first banned, first pick material. Has fallen off a little bit, but this Uther Oriel plus double tank line with the Vala as the main energy battery and damage dealer, that's going to be a very hard comp for the one to take down, don't you think?
Yes, it is. It's going to be difficult as we see the support coming in for the one going to be the Karazim. We've seen this before with Illidan. It has had mixed success. It's very much reliant on the Karazim to keep up with the Illidan, because you do have to focus a lot of your healing onto him, or to be a big enough menace on the Karazim to be a significant enough distraction to allow Illidan to do his job.
Exactly. It all comes down to the positioning, to the amount of aggression that the one wants to apply. I think with this composition, they need to find someone and take them out very quickly, which is easier said than done. You have a potential combo of, you know, Crystal Aegis and Divine Shield, and good luck trying to focus someone out there. So maybe a longer drawn-out fight might be the recipe for them to look for, but in the end, no matter which path they chose, I think they're going to get outshined in the long run by that double support comp from Hodsley. So it's going to be very rough. They have to put all their hopes on Illidan, who I feel can make the difference if he doesn't fall very early on.
Well, we're gonna have to find out. The Illidan, like you said, he can just they can just try and ignore the objective, at least in the early game, and split push, and that's what they're gonna need to do. It's very much gonna be down to, I think, ranged poking to delay the tribute and allow Illidan to soak.
Exactly. They're definitely going to have to play the map a little bit more. Once again, we see the crowd here favoring the underdog, favoring the one as the newcomer. So cool.
She has a cat bag. I'm super jealous. Either way, we are loading into game number 2. We apologize for the delays, but we are getting underway. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 between Hot Lady and the One.
And here they are, being deployed onto Sky Temple on the left-hand side. We have Hodsley currently leading 1-0. 365 on the Oriel. Again, plays the Uther. Elias on Sonya, Feed B on the Vala, and Carlo on his Stitches.
And on the right, it is the One. And they have played with them Hugo on the Illidan, Lucky on Tassadar, Meng on Greymane, Zyran on Karazim, and Heihei is playing the Anubrak.
So, what does the One need to do in order to prevail here if they want to get that 1 point in that best of 2? I think, for the most part, as Tetra said, range poke could be a good way to start one of those team fights. Once again, hard engaging against the Divine Shield Crystal Aegis possibility is a little bit of a risky deal. Most importantly, though, they need to keep Illidan alive. I feel that Hugo is going to have to be the big playmaker, but here comes a little bit of a problem that I see with that. After him being on the ETC and trying to be the playmaker with those mosh pits in the first game, kind of failing at that, I'm not sure what his Illidan is going to look like. I would love to be proven wrong, though. I want Hugo to succeed.
I would also like Hugo to succeed, however, the fact that his... I'm more concerned potentially about this Tassadar due to the fact that he is using a pleb horse, so I feel uncomfortable as to the efficiency of this particular player. But now, though, very, very fast rotations coming in from the One. Just multiple lanes, multiple times.
Leah's just nerves of steel here, hiding in the bushes for so long, showing himself in the end, though, getting attacked by 3 heroes at the same time, still manages to stay alive, takes a sip from the healing fountain, and now being reinforced by Carlo as well, who gets a hook and a beautiful follow-up stun by the spear. However, it was not enough to take down Hugo, and that tower in the bottom lane lost all of its ammo and took a lot of damage already.
Again, arriving just in time to not help, as we do see the run rotating around. They're going to grab the fountain here as everyone rotates up. Looks like it's going to be Greymane, who just chills in the bot lane for a while against Sonya. BB trying to hold the point, but with Karazim here, Tassadar able to keep that watchtower under the control of the one.
Yeah, now the first brawls are definitely going to take place. No kills thus far, which is highly unusual for HGC China, the region that normally averages 20 kills per game plus. So let's see if the action is going to start relatively soon here. For now, both teams are sort of trying to contest the middle, but also heavy emphasis on the top lane. 3 heroes on the side of the one are marching up top, and they find Auriel and Vala.
B2B looking to get taken down here. 365 is going to be the one that drops. He's back on a support, by the way, being the second support on the team. Such a flexible player.
Yeah, really cool to see. Like 365, who's also the team captain of Hot Lady. Oh my goodness, Vala way out of position there. Definitely overextending and, you know, biting off more than she could chew. But yeah, as you said, 365, super versatile player, team captain of Hot Lady, support player in Season 1, then turned caster in Season 2, and went back on the player's chair to basically be the main assassin / secondary support, apparently.
Indeed. Super flexible player here. Very nice to see him doing so for his team. Right now, though, not working out. They do need to try and turn this around. Final shots taken by the one. They move back into lane.
They move back into lane, and already they have taken a huge experience lead. But they did so in the last game as well, and it only cost them the game in the late game because they couldn't maintain that lead. So hopefully they're going to have learned from their mistakes, and they're going to show us a little bit more of a stable game. In terms of talents, nothing too fancy. We once again see a Sign Fusion build. In fact, I think we have yet to see the good old Templars will auto-attack Tassadar build. So China definitely preferring the additional wave clear and AoE damage over strong basic attacks. Then of course we see the Kala's leech here on that level 4, providing additional life leech, and with an Illidan, that is oftentimes the only way to go, although Kala's Light with the 10 armor still proves to be quite valuable at times as well.
We see the continued assault of those Siege Giants, one of them actually getting that leeching plasma shield to regain some health, because once again, minions, I believe, do benefit, minions and mercenaries do benefit from the leeching plasma.
They do. So it is oftentimes a nice little trick to not only focus on shielding allied heroes, although that should always be a top priority in a team fight, but, you know, especially when you have nothing else to do or when you're sieging up with those neutral helpers at your side, you can totally just drop a shield on them. They will regen a little bit of health, and most importantly, they will stay alive for a little bit longer. In the meantime, Anubrak just flying like an eagle over that wall, and, you know, Sonya just, falls down. Doesn't have the beetle wings.
Yeah. Anub does have wings, able to keep himself in the air that time. In the meantime, it is Meng desperately trying to hold the bot lane together and not have it explode on him due to the assault double support of Vala in his lane.
Yep, here we go. Did you know that, speaking of insects and their wings, from a physical point of view, and scientific point of view, I should say, bumblebees are not meant to be flying?
You, sir, have watched the Bee movie, and you are wrong. That is a meme, and it's terrible.
I just wanted to test you, no?
Absolutely not. Unacceptable.
I'm an alliance player. I'm smart, Tetcher. I know those things.
If we do want to go by stuff that is terrifying and has wings, over a year ago, a winged poisonous spider was found in Australia. Enjoy that one. Google that later. That might have, I don't know if that's fake news either. That might have just been that might have been the Onion where I read that.
Wait, if a spider has wings, does it still count as a spider though? I refuse to believe such a abomination exists.
Depends on the genes. But now though, we see a full retreat coming out from Hot's Lady as the aggressive TheOne trying to push in. Hook just short of grabbing.
Nice. There we go. There we go. That was very close on the Karazim. In the meantime, we see heroic abilities unlocked. We see the 7-sided strike on the side of Karazim, probably to punish the likes of Sonya and Stitches a little bit more, because both of those heroes have a pretty high health pool. Then we have Go for the Throat, which seems to be the go-to. In fact, I can't recall a single Curse Bullet Tetcher in HGC China.
No, I don't think we have either, actually. That's an excellent point.
And I guess the Stitches, too. I think this could be a great mistake. Like, I don't think go for the throat against, you know, potential Crystal Aegis Divine Shield is going to have any value. I think the Curse Bullet against those high HP warriors might have been more valuable, but it remains to be seen. Meng gets hooked over the wall, dashes into safety though on the Greymane, but is getting chased mercilessly by Feedbeat.
Feedbeat not able to lock them down and finish off the kill though. So that's good. Also, just Googled, apparently the whole flying spider thing was in fact fake news from the 90s. So yes, there we go, it is bogus. No such creature exists yet.
Thank God. Oh my goodness. Wherever that abomination would have lived, I would have never traveled to.
Australia, of course, because everything is Australia when it comes to toxic.
Hey, excluding Heroes of the Storm players, because Fat94 is an awesome bloke.
It's the only country that has a venomous mammal. It's one of the only venomous mammals that exists in the world. We do see a quick retreat from Leas coming here. So much damage onto Hey, who's just guarding the cocoon, looking for the follow-up. Doesn't have a CC available though, so here comes the try and attempt to follow up from Meng, who is now in serious trouble, trying to escape using the disengage, but Stitches is chasing forward with the putrid bile. Good save by Hugo though, and he may sacrifice himself here for the rest of his team.
Hugo, in fact, going deep, fighting everybody in the enemy team of Hot Lady and getting a kill against Vala. That is huge. He refuses to die and takes on the entire world, supported now by Tassadar and Karzim again. Hugo with those massive kills. How could I ever doubt this guy? Oh,
he's still going. He's
my!
He gets the Uther. Hugo, relentless resilience.
Wow!
The new fragrance from Hugo Boss.
Oh, absolutely. We call him Hugo Boss right here, right now. That was one of the most spectacular Illidan re-engages I've ever seen into 4 enemy heroes. When the rest of his team was under retreat, everyone was shouting, "Get back, get back!" Illidan's like, "No, I got this." Going in, getting the kill, Navallo. Yeah. Oh boy.
The hatred of 10,000 years, the new fragrance from Hugo Boss. Absolutely love it. So well played. That is a huge lead coming in now for the one, over a full level in terms of XP.
Yeah. Absolute monstrous play. And I can't really tell why Hot Lady wasn't able to deal with him, because they all looked so well in that fight, taking out the one super, but we see that again, and I'm really glad. Now look at that team fight. The entirety of the one is dropping low. They try to get the target in the cocoon, but they don't manage to get the kill. Feedbeat safe for now. Heals all the way. Look at Uther though. Divine Shield ready all that time. I think he could have maybe used it earlier to save someone from the onslaught of Hugo.
Yeah, he has a shield, he's sustaining through here. Sonya has abandoned the team. Illidan finds the weakest person, metamorphosizes, kills Vala, and guess what? Now there's no damage. Illidan's free to do whatever he wants. Karazim coming in for the save as well, and they're able to pick up 2 more kills. Wow. Beautifully done, and we have the best reply here from mid-season's Hugo Raid Boss. Well done.
Absolutely. Hugo Raid Boss, absolute gong show going on here. But the one using that momentum to basically secure themselves more damage on the enemy structures. They still have that top fort, so in terms of, you know, overall progress on the map objective, they are in the lead. And Hot Lady, they're trying to use that small time window they still have before the one turns 16 and continues to fight with a talent advantage. They try to get a couple of towers here, being reinforced, of course, by a Siege Giant camp. Now, keep in mind, Hugo on the Illidan does not have the hunt. Without it, I think he would have, well, without Metamorphosis though, he would have not been able to pull that miracle fight off that he just did. Still, he got so much value done in the top, the mercenary camp is pushing, the knights are on the way, and now, on the flip side, you can see how the one is trying to chase after Hot Lady to prevent them from teleporting back and dealing with that mer camp, to look for a fight 16 against 13. There's a lot on the line for the one right now. They need to stabilize and get that 1-1.
Sonya's already back though. She is already working on the clearing of that camp, whereas the rest of the one are just stealing a mercenary camp and grabbing themselves some XP in the bot lane. They are currently in a situation where they're not able to really grab too much. There's no objective, there's no boss, there's nothing really for them to get. So they've got what they can, and now they're just going to poke and wait for the next objective or more XP to arrive at their door so they can get level 20.
Level 20 is exactly what they could wait for, but they can definitely force the issue a little bit earlier as well. The temple has now arrived, only one. Kind of lucky for the Hot Ladies, because 2 temples would have been a little bit of a disaster, because they would have definitely lost a keep as it is. Now, once again, we see Tassadar shielding the Siege Giants. Every ounce of damage matters at this point, because the laser in the bottom might just be enough to take down the first keep of the game.
I think you just accidentally named the next Open Division team due to the fact that we already have Always Lucky and Never Lucky. Next one's Kinda Lucky.
Yep,
yeah,
kinda lucky.
Sort of lucky. We have some luck. Yeah. We sometimes win. For now, though, Hot Lady clearing minions, just desperately trying to reach 16, but they're not even 15 yet. Yeah. They are so far behind at this point.
It is amazing to see how that one team fight turned everything around. A full team wipe, so much experience to be gathered because both teams were at the same level. And right now, as you said, there's nothing Hot Lady can do. There's no objective left available, no mercenaries, no boss, nothing they can do while the one is distracted with the temple here. Beautiful lockdown, beautiful hook on Hugo though, getting reinforced by Hehe, dropping the stuns to help his buddy in need. And that was kind of close here for the one.
Didn't even panic Metamorphosis. Very good
calm.
restraint coming in from Hugo.
Yeah, very calm and collected, waiting for the right moment. That is oftentimes a major quality of a pro player to have. To analyze and assess the situation correctly without overreacting and panic triggering some of the longer cooldowns, which Metamorphosis is definitely one of. Now we see 16 around the corner for Hot Lady, but already losing the top keep, the bottom keep, excuse me, and taking so much damage on the middle one as well. The Cocoon is dropped, and I think the one might go in.
This is 5v4. They just dropped some CC. Illidan is not there. He is currently grabbing the Siege Giants.
Nice.
Nubrax hooked in. He tunnels out.
Nice bird charge. Just, you know, trying to force a little something here. Trying to apply a little bit of extra damage on that middle keep. But Heroes of the Storm is a game of comebacks, ladies and gentlemen. Although some website might still not believe it. But 16 against 18. That is the longest period of time they have to catch up again. Nice stun against the wall with the Detainment Strike from 365. But Meng is going in. Feet be in trouble.
We see lots of big engagement. Go for the throat. The one not looking great this fight. Hey's dropping low. Still alive though. And Illidan's in the backline. He's already got Ariel. Hugo is going hard on this. He's found a Valor. And Valor getting lots of healing though. Hugo may have overextended. He's getting hit by the keep. Leaps to his allies. And Hugo lives.
Yeah, I was always very skeptical of those overextensions. But when Hugo is on the leash, you definitely can be sure that he does not fall that easily. Now, they did get a kill. They did get a little bit of damage done. The mercenaries are saying hello in the enemy base, reinforced by some catapults, but no major damage being done. But that is going to change with the arrival of 2 temples. Hot Lady, they need to stabilize. Sonya is now back in the fray. This is where they have to make a stand. This is where they need to go all in, because I don't think, Tetra, that they can come back once level 20 is reached for the one.
Not so sure either. Right now, the one are just looking so good. They're soaking lanes. They're trying to grab these temples. They may be forced to retreat out of mid. Noob is actually going to die here. Finally taking enough damage from Valor. Drops Cocoon, giving the rest of his team a chance to escape, though. In the meantime, Hugo is weaving the destruction in the top lane, taking out that final keep.
And dying for the sake of, you know, getting the final keep here potentially is definitely worth it. Now, the one just need to make sure that they do not get caught in staggered deaths, because that could be the only way for Hot Slayer to maybe stabilize and get a good fight going. They should always remain as 5 or retreat, because there's already so much damage coming in on the core in their base. Oh, unfortunately, they lose Stitches, and this might be the beginning of the end.
Quite possibly, Greymane moving back to focus on Lias, while Illidan is the perfect distraction in the backline, looking for Feed B, taking him out. Everyone else takes down Lias in a 4v1, as Illidan 1v4s, takes down everyone else. Final keep can be ignored. They don't even need to, though. They are going to take it down as well.
Do it for the XP.
For Shield's already down due to catapults and siege giants in the bot lane. That's going to be GG, and it's going to be a 1-1 between Hot Lady and the One.
Another 1-1 for Hot Lady. That is not what they had been hoping for against a team like the One, who lost their first game against SBT yesterday. The One was considered to be one of the weaker teams in the league, and despite looking so good yesterday, Hot Lady just can't seem to manage to get victories. All they do is 1-1 all the time, and in the end, despite not losing a single series, they might still not qualify for BlizzCon, because you need those juicy 3 points. A tie is not enough.
Why possibly, but the One could have really used a win there to try and make up for the loss they suffered yesterday. Unfortunately, they weren't able to, and for the person in chat who requested it, That was not the best one.
See, you can't force it, bro. You can't force it.
Krillin, you must master the Kamehameha. That was slightly better.
That's pretty good. Unfortunately, I can't do a Bulma impersonation. Otherwise,
no one can do a Bulma impression.
Unfortunately, I can't do it. Otherwise, Tetra would start getting a nosebleed.
Dear oh dear. But now though, good first game in the good first games for the day. That was just our first series. The next one that's going to be coming up is going to be KT versus CE. But for now, TheOne, very solid job to make the comeback there. Like you said, the map can sometimes snowball, and they did some great control.
Yeah.
They never really pushed structures. They were just patient and took out the structures fired, the temples.